In 2020, politicians ran on really popular reforms that could transform our economy and make the nation stronger. And a record high, 81 million people turned out to vote for these reforms during a plague. And those 81 million people just got stopped by two. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Senator Krysten Sinema of Arizona. Together, they form the loathed celebrity couple, Manchinima. Joe Manchin comes from the third poorest state, one that has 0 billionaires in it. But most of his donations don't come from his state because they're still poor. Joe Manchin isn't just the most powerful man in the Senate, he's now become our worst American president since Putin. If he was a NASCAR driver, he'd have so many corporate sponsorship patches you wouldn't be able to see his face. Joe Manchin is so bought and paid for, he should come with a gift receipt when he enters a room. Let's be honest, we have legalized bribery in America. This is why Congress should be paid minimum wage, because half of these guys just live off the tips. But legalized bribery is okay, because the Supreme Court said the money used to buy off politicians, it's not money, it's speech. Yeah, we are Rome with better plumbing and emojis. Now, talking about Krysten Sinema is kind of painful for me because I interviewed her a couple of years ago on TV when she was in Congress, and I publicly came out as a Sinema fan. Turns out I might have just been confused. In the first half of this year, Senator Sinema raked in over $400,000 in contributions from lobbyists. That's up 150% from what she brought in last year, and she's not even up for re-election for another 3 years. Politico reported that 90% of the money she raised last summer came from people who do not live in her state of Arizona. These two have raked in more money this year than any other senator that was elected in 2018, Democrat or Republican. It's so out in the open at this point that GOP lobbyists are publicly telling wealthy mega donors to give the maximum amount possible to Manchinima. Imagine being so easy to buy off. Republicans tell Republicans, you can be bought off.
One of us, one of us.
Together, Manchinima have blocked Congress like it's Donald Trump's arteries. But what if there was an easy way to deliver the American people the popular reforms they actually voted for? Well, my friends, there is. All we've got to do is pay Manchin and Sinema more money to support progress than the lobbyists are currently paying them to obstruct it. I'm calling this bold new initiative Bribe Back Better. Call me old-fashioned, but I believe we, the people, can do a better job than lobbyists at bribing our public officials. And it's not a payoff. It's civic crowdsourcing. Let me explain. Now, 48 U.S. senators, all Democrats, want to do a lot to help non-millionaires. 2 Democratic senators want to help non-millionaires, but a lot less. 50 Republican senators want to do nothing to help non-millionaires except get them really upset and riled up over critical race theory and Hunter Biden's laptop and canceling the Muppets and canceling Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head's gender, and Joe Biden's going to come and take your hamburgers, and Donald Trump had the election stolen from him even though there's no evidence of this, and over 60 cases have been laughed out of court. My friends, lobbyists have to bribe as many politicians as they can on the federal, state, and local levels. We, the people, only need to bribe 2. My friends, if every American who voted for Joe Biden last year donated only $1 at GoBribeMe.com, we'd have $81 million to split between Manchin and Sinema. That's way more than their current owners pay them. I know, we're rewarding bad behavior. But when they go low, we bribe high. Bribe back better. It's the grift that keeps on giving. Oh, and after all this is done, we get rid of them. And remember, if D.C. and Puerto Rico and Guam and the Virgin Islands were finally states, nobody would care what Manchinima thinks. Oh, and if you can afford to buy a senator so you don't have to pay higher taxes, bro, you can afford to pay higher taxes.
Ow.